It's not something parents want to think about, but sexting among high school students is becoming an epidemic in our schools.
Parents may not know that teens who are caught could be arrested on felony charges and have to register as a sex offender. Senators say it's a law that must be changed. Robert Boyd has the story.
How bad is sexting among teenagers? We spoke with a 16-year-old who said if she had to rank her high school from a scale of 1 to 10, she would give it a 10. But she says handing out felonies to the kids who are doing it isn't the answer.
I've seen a lot of pictures like on social media like Instagram or Snapchat or like through messages and somebody will pass the phone around the classroom.
11th grader Ayanna Miller said she sees sexting in the hallways of her school every day. She says the students doing it aren't necessarily bad, they're just making bad decisions.
I think everyone makes mistakes, and I think like as you grow older you should learn from them.
But under the current law in Virginia, the sender and receiver of sexting can be charged with the distribution and possession of child porn, which is a felony.
What are we going to do about this? I mean, we don't want to make every kid in the school a felon.
State Senator Scott Surville proposed a bill that would give prosecutors the option to charge sexting among minors as a misdemeanor.
These ought to be used as teaching moments to sort of get children some education, give them an opportunity to show that they're engaged in good conduct, and then ultimately get the charge dismissed.
Mother Shantae Miller travels to schools across Hampton Roads speaking to students about the consequences of sexting. She said most of the kids have no idea it's a crime, let alone a felony.
They know the right and wrong, I believe, but they don't know the intensity of what can travel with them and ruin them trying to get a job or moving forward in life, and then they have to be registered as a sex offender.
Miller says sexting is often a part of peer pressure, just like drugs and alcohol, and it needs to be treated in a similar manner, with good parenting.
Kids are making it cool. You know, it's cool to send these pictures, or it's cool to, I really like you, just send it to me. We have to educate them on this piece because they don't come with the book and they don't come with this wealth of knowledge. They don't know.
This bill has already passed the Senate and now it moves on to the House. This is Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
Controversial bill is making its way through the state Senate. Critics say your power bill could go up because of it. Dominion Energy wants to use its earnings as well as customer refund money to pay for projects. So instead of refunding $200 million to customers, they would use the money to upgrade the electrical grid. Governor Northam and lawmakers from both parties support it. They say customers would save money in the long run because energy efficiency will improve. Opponents argue the bill would lead to higher rates and customers being charged double.
They avoid paying the refund to the customer, plus they put the project into the rate base so they recover these profits all the way down the line.
You just can't put power on everywhere without making an investment in the grid to allow that power to actually flow.
Amendments to try and change the bill failed today in the Senate. A final vote will take place tomorrow. What's a felony crime if you're caught stealing in Virginia? Today, the governor and Republican lawmakers outlined a deal that would make $500 the threshold for a felony crime. It's $200 right now. Governor Northam had wanted to raise the amount even more to $1,000. Virginia's felony bar has been at $200 since 1980, along with New Jersey. It is the lowest in the country.
A local mother is heartbroken after her daughter drowned in a hotel pool over the weekend at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. Even worse, she says she is still trying to get answers about what happened.
Losing a child is like losing part of you. It's nothing that can fill that void.
Deshelle Speller's daughter, Skylar Alexander, drowned at the oceanfront Spring Hill Suites Marriott on Atlantic Avenue. Skylar was at her cousin's pool party when she went underwater. Deshelle got the call Saturday evening that her little girl had drowned, but the hotel can't tell her what happened.
They're waiting for her autopsy to come back, so it's still a mystery to us of what happened to our baby. I reached out to the hotel and haven't gotten anything back from them.
Speller wants to know if there were cameras in the pool area. Virginia Beach police tell us there is no footage available from the scene. We also reached out to the hotel, but they would not provide a statement.
Tonight, the woman accused in a hit-and-run accident has turned herself in. We told you yesterday that Williamsburg police were looking for Rebecca Ginger Brewell. She got into a crash Sunday afternoon, but then took off, leaving her passenger badly injured. We're told the man is in critical condition. Brewell will be charged with felony hit-and-run and driving while suspended. The midnight deadline to yet another government showdown is getting closer. Senator Rand Paul says he's prepared to keep the Senate in session all night to protest a bipartisan budget deal. The spending bill would increase the federal deficit by hundreds of billions of dollars. ABC's Tara Palmieri reports.
The deadline to keep the government open is midnight. Despite the Senate's best efforts to offer a bill that includes bipartisan perks, Republican Senator Rand Paul is holding up the vote.
I want people to feel uncomfortable. I want them to have to answer people at home who said, how come you were against President Obama's deficits, and then how come you're for Republican deficits?
The deal includes billions for opioid treatment, disaster relief, and infrastructure, and a big boost to defense spending by $300 billion over 2 years. Conservative spending hawks like Rand Paul say they can't vote on a package that increases government debt.
This spending bill is a debt junkie's dream.
So what do you make of this deal?
Reckless. Totally reckless.
Rand Paul filed an objection that postpones the vote until after midnight, when government funding is cut off. The White House has told the agencies to prepare for a shutdown, but House Speaker Paul Ryan has been whipping votes.
You get some things you like, you give the other side things they like.
House Democrats are furious that the deal doesn't include a solution for dreamers, those undocumented immigrants who were brought to the country illegally as children. Wednesday, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi gave an 8-hour speech to pressure Congress to act before the program that protects dreamers expires on March 5th.
We have our beliefs and we're willing to fight for them, and we're willing to fight for them on the floor of the House.
Despite Rand Paul's objections, there are still hurdles in the House. Many Democrats and Republicans are against the bill. They're expected to vote on it in the morning. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Another down day for the markets. The Dow dropped more than 1,000 points again just days after Monday's plunge. Analysts call it an official correction, saying the economy still appears to be doing well. Investors say there is anxiety the economy is doing too well, and the Federal Reserve may have to increase rates to keep inflation under control.
All right, remember that massive Equifax data breach from last year? This week we learned that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is scaling back its investigation. More than 140 million people had their names, social security numbers, and other important information hacked. It may be years before the hackers try to use some of that stolen data. A lot of people are wondering what they should do to protect themselves. 1, file your taxes as early as possible. Cyber crooks often try to file fraudulent tax claims. You can try to beat them to the punch. Also, you should already be monitoring your credit. There are lots of free services that will do that for you. And keep an eye on your credit card statements, too. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea to request a new credit card number. And there's also this thing called a dark web scam. There are companies that can search restricted parts of the internet for evidence that your identity has been stolen. Companies like Experian have advertised free one-time scans. Senator Mark Warner is joining more than 30 other senators demanding to know why the Equifax investigation has been dropped. They sent a letter saying the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has a duty to expose wrongdoing.
Some video from the Virginia Aquarium has caught the attention of people all over the country. You see a baby octopus hatching and suddenly changing colors. Hundreds of thousands of people have watched it on social media. As Shnuher explains, the video was taken at the perfect time.
Right now she's a little shy, hiding in the cave here because she has a clutch of eggs in there. But one thing she doesn't know is another clutch of eggs was in a video that has since gone viral. The video is captivating. Hundreds of thousands of people have shared it across social media. It shows this little one here hatching at the Virginia Aquarium right before our eyes. And what's cool that many people have pointed out is when this baby Caribbean reef octopus changes colors.
This is it firing its chromatophores, or some pigmentation in its skin, and it's just trying to get some camouflage.
Aquarium staff were just as excited about the video. Senior curator Julie Levins was one of the minds behind it, and luckily they didn't have to wait around too long for this moment.
We had them in a smaller aquarium where they hatched within a matter of minutes once we pulled them out, so we did not have to stand there for hours on end.
The little guy now joins about 20 other hatchlings from this mother. Right now, it's still unknown how many more eggs there are to go.
She's still holding on to a pretty healthy clutch within the cave. but we can't see how many more eggs that she has in there.
Levins says this species can lay up to 200 eggs, but not all will make it to adulthood.
Their survival rate is pretty low because of natural attrition. But our goal is to have the intention of raising all of the babies that we have so far.
Not only will the babies hatching captivate people visually, hopefully it'll captivate people's minds too.
One of the best things that we can do here is to inspire and educate the public about our marine environment and the animals that live in it.
In Virginia Beach, Chinu Hurt, 13 News Now.